Good afternoon. It's time for another NFL Bucky's Mill Day. This is your host, Mike C. And of course, the star of the show, as always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. Happy draft day, everybody. My favorite time of the year, favorite day of the year. It's Christmas in April. I just love this day. Look forward to it for months. The only bad thing about it is that it's going to be over soon. But we got 3 days of the draft. And I'm going to try to watch as much as possible. I got everything set up for tonight. I got shrimp. I got chips. I got pizza. I got iced tea. I'm all set. Carl's going to watch it with me. I'm very excited for that. The reason I'm going to do this daily or this on-day video, I just wanted to get one out before the draft actually happens tonight. I'll watch ESPN because I like Mel's takes better than on NFL Network. But anyway, that's beside the point. Couple scenarios that I think possibly could happen. Very likely, well, I hope likely to happen. And a few players I think have a great chance to be on the lines. This is pick number 6. 18 we'll touch a little bit upon, not too much. Now, last week's video hasn't been out for a while. I think it's got like 10 or 12 views, which is pretty good for that, actually. So this is in on itself, and let's get started really quick. In front of Bucky, we have my draft shirt. We've all seen this before. It's from 2015. It's hard to believe it's been that long. And I got some Lions gloves, of course. This may be the last year I bring this shirt up because I want to get another shirt next year when it's actually in Detroit. So we'll see about that. All right, enough talk. Now more talk. Okay. Carolina's at 1. They're going to pick Bryce Young. That's pretty much in cement right now. Next couple picks is where it gets tricky. 2, I've heard many different things. It's smoke. I still don't know why the next team would not pick a quarterback. The Texans. Very possible. I've seen Tyree Wilson. I've seen Will Anderson. I hope not. I could see Tyree Smith going. They really like him for some reason, and they can get maybe a quarterback later down in the draft. They're not going to be very good next year, so they might be in the sweepstakes. For 2 really, really good quarterbacks next year, but you can't plan on that. So at 3 is where it really gets interesting. That's where the Cardinals are. Now, if the Lions don't call them and make huge trade offers, I'd be very disappointed. They might even do that too. I've seen that happen. So we'll see. I mean, 2 or 3 is not that big of a difference. I would offer my obviously my number 1 pick, my first round draft pick at 6, and then my highest number 2 of this year, and I don't know, maybe a 5th, couple of 5ths. I don't know, something next year, maybe a 4th, whatever it takes. And I would draft Will Anderson Jr., and I'd be ecstatic. But that's a very possibility. So the first possibility is a trade at number 2 or 3. The best case scenario is that first 4 picks are quarterbacks, either through trade or just straight up picks. And then at 5, the Seahawks are going to pick Jalen Carter. That would leave Will Anderson at 6. Again, it'd be ecstatic. So that's a strong possibility. So there's two possibilities right there. Okay, the Lions trade up, or they stay exactly where they are, and the first 4 picks are quarterbacks, or 3 of the 4 picks are quarterbacks. Okay, we'll see. That's a very possibility. So, so he's sitting on the chair. I think the possibilities of players actually being there for the Lions. So my number 1 pick is Will Anderson Jr. I still would like Jalen Carter. I have no problems. The other stuff is, they've talked to the Lions very recently about him, so I'm not as concerned about that. We'll see. Tyree Smith is another great option. I would not be hesitant about that. I don't want a cornerback at 6. They don't need a cornerback at 6. They've got a ton of them, and they're stable. They don't need to pick one. Especially not, I don't want Witherspoon and Gonzalez. As much as I love Gonzalez, they don't need to pick him at 6. Either trade down or depending again who is there, still at number 6. So no to cornerbacks at 6, even Christian Gonzalez. Other players that are possibly there, Christian Gonzalez could be there. If they do pick a cornerback, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be ecstatic, but he might be the best player available. So either Gonzalez or trade down at 6 if those two previous mentioned are not there. Tyree Smith has been rumored to go to number 2. I don't know. It's a total crapshoot right now. We just don't know. Other players, I think that's pretty much about it. I actually saw a mock where Paris Johnson went at 6. The Ohio State offensive tackle. I would not be that upset about that. The other player I've seen and I've heard rumors would be the quarterback from Florida, Anderson, AR-15, Anthony Richardson, excuse me. That would be a luxury pick, which is what number 6 is this year for the Lions. After the Stafford trade, you squirrel him away for at least 1 year, maybe even 2. You get that 5th-year option, so you'd see him for 3 years. He could be a phenomenal player, phenomenal quarterback, and I mean, it'd just be ecstatic. He wouldn't pay that much. Well, he'd pay some for, obviously, but I would not be upset if they picked Anthony Richardson at number 6. CJ Stroud, I'd be more excited. I mean, he will stop right now. They don't need to start right now. That's the whole thing. He'll sit at least a year or so behind Goff, and there's their quarterback for the future. They're not going to draft that high again next year. So there's a three or four good scenarios of the Lions and players that they're going to come up with. Now at 18, that's a whole different story. 18's tough. I'm just going to name, I'm not going to go with the scenarios because there's too many players I'd like to see the Lions draft at 18. I would, Bijan Robinson, the running back from Texas, I'd be okay with that. The name has escaped me, the offensive guard from Florida, that would be okay too. Defensive end, Nolan Smith comes to mind. Miles Murphy comes to mind. There's lots of, Brian Brazee, another one, somebody like that interior. Depends who they get at 6, obviously. If they get Carter at 6, then they don't need an interior defensive help. I'd shoot for the fence and I'd go for Bijan Robinson. That'd be a phenomenal pick. And get it off interior offensive lineman in the 2nd round. You're pretty much set. Wide receiver, you wouldn't need that till later. Tight end, I constantly see these mocks. They do tight end, at 18, or you just don't need a tight end. They've done that many times. Same with cornerback. You don't need to pick that high, especially tight end. They've been burned too much. They just got rid of a tight end. You got TJ. You just don't need to draft one that high. And it's a deep tight end class, so you can get one later. So no to tight ends that early. I said wide receiver is a possibility. Offensive tackle, offensive guard, of course. Linebacker is another need. I think they need to go 2nd round. I would go, linebacker and offensive guard somewhere in there, that either or, switch around. Linebacker is another possibility. So there's the Lions don't need a lot, which is hard for me to say because I'm not used to saying that. But so that's my pre-draft video. I'll do a post-draft video on Monday, just like normal, and we'll go over all the Lions picks. Hopefully I'll be happy and I won't be sour, especially tonight. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with Carla watching, and I can't wait. So, for Mike C, and of course, star of the show as always, it's Bucky, a.k.a. Mel Kiper Jr., Bucky, say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye. Have a fun and a great and a safe draft night. Don't drink too much and enjoy the experience. All right, bye now.